Once upon a time, in a cozy little town surrounded by hills and rivers, there lived two best friends, Leo and Ben. Though they were the same age and went to the same school, they couldn't have been more different. Leo was a social media wizard. His phone was like an extra limb, always in his hand, glowing with notifications. He had followers from around the world, knew all the trending memes, and could turn any event into an Instagram-worthy moment. His friends jokingly called him Leo Influencer. Ben, on the other hand, was the opposite. His phone was old, barely holding a charge, and he didn't even have most social media apps. Ben preferred spending his time outdoors, tinkering with his bike, or reading books under the big oak tree in his backyard. "Likes and followers don't grow tomatoes," he'd say with a grin when Leo teased him. One bright Saturday morning, Leo burst into Ben's room, phone in hand as usual. "Dude, have you seen this new dance challenge? Everyone's doing it," Leo said, spinning around awkwardly. Ben looked up from the model airplane he was building. "You should take a break from those apps. Why not come biking with me instead?" "Biking? That's not going to go viral," Leo scoffed, scrolling through his feed. But Ben wasn't giving up. "Come on, Leo. There's this hidden trail near the river. It's got the coolest views. You can even post about it if you want." Reluctantly, Leo agreed. He figured he could snap a few pics and maybe even make a reel. He grabbed his bike, and the two set off. The trail turned out to be more incredible than Ben had promised. It wound through a forest that smelled of pine and wildflowers and opened up to a sparkling river. Birds chirped in the trees, and the sun cast playful patterns on the ground. "This is amazing," Leo admitted, snapping photos. "Why didn't you tell me it was this good?" Ben laughed. "I did. You just needed to look up from your screen to notice." As they rode further, something unexpected happened. Leo's phone buzzed with notifications, but for the first time, he ignored them. The sound of the rushing river, the crunch of gravel under their tires, and the wind on his face were so much better than any viral video. When they reached the riverbank, Ben pulled out a small picnic he'd packed. "No phones," he said, holding up his hand before Leo could protest. "Just enjoy the moment." Leo hesitated, but then smiled, slipping his phone into his bag. The two friends sat by the water, munching on sandwiches and talking about everything under the sun, except social media. By the time they got home, Leo felt refreshed in a way he hadn't in ages. That night, instead of posting about his day, he put his phone aside and read a book Ben had lent him. From that day on, Leo started balancing his time. He still loved social media, but made sure to spend time outdoors with Ben, or just enjoying life offline. And Ben? He kept being his grounded, easygoing self, secretly happy that his best friend had learned to look up and see the world around him. As they grew up, Leo and Ben often laughed about that day by the river. The day a trail and a picnic reminded Leo that life is best enjoyed in the moment.